Welcome back, everybody. Our guest today is a best-selling author and poet. She's best known for inspiring millions of people around the world with her viral poem, I Met My Younger Self for Coffee. That poem is part of her new book coming out next month called Deep in My Feels. Please welcome Jennae Cecelia. She's with us here today. Jennae, welcome to the show. Appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Jennae, I've followed you for quite some time, and so I was so happy and excited when I saw one of your many beautiful poems go completely viral.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that. I'm going to guess if you're watching, you at least saw some portion of this. Someone shared their version of it, if not the original.
Yeah, so I wrote a poem actually last October called I Met My Younger Self for Coffee. And really what I wanted it to be was I was trying to think of a poem that could go in this book to really kind of close out and encapsulate what it was as a whole. So I was thinking about what it would be like to meet with my younger self. I wrote it out, and I wrote it very specific too. It's very detailed. And I used to think writing a poem like that might not work that well because is everyone going to relate to something with these details in it? And I posted it, and it did really well to the point where I asked my editor, can we add this into the book? Well, then a few months later, I kind of reposted it again on TikTok, and it just took off. It was wild.
So it almost didn't make it in the book?
It almost didn't make it, no.
Wow.
Yeah, I had turned in the manuscript in August, and then we were just in the editing rounds of it. And I was kind of like, something is missing in the last part of the book. So I had been working a little bit to kind of get the flow, and I asked my editor, I'm like, I think I have this poem that will really make the book, and I guess I was right.
Well, I guess so.
Yeah. So is that would you say your biggest poem to date because of how viral it went?
Yes, definitely. I've had like a few other moments where things have taken off. I wrote a book in 2020 called The Sun Will Rise and So Will We, and I got a big, massive following coming from that because Jennifer Garner shared about it.
Oh, casual.
Wow.
Casual.
That's awesome.
She like just posted a picture on her Instagram of the poem and tagged me, and I thought it was fake at first because you know how there's a lot of celebrities that do that. And then she messaged me like the nicest thing. I was like, what? So that was kind of like a little taste of it, but nothing like this.
And it's a deeply personal book, right? It's a reminder that vulnerability, you know, from time to time is necessary, right?
Yes, I'm really big into writing stuff that people can relate to, that they don't necessarily know how to express themselves, but want to be able to read it in a way that's like, okay, someone gets me, and maybe I don't have the words to speak on for it, but someone else could.
I always like ask songwriters, you know, like, what is your process like when you're writing a song? Is it music first? Is it lyrics? And then like some of their biggest hits they'll be like, I wrote that in 3 minutes, you know? So what is your process like when you're writing poetry?
Yeah, so specifically with that I Met My Younger Self for Coffee poem, I wrote that pretty fast. It's kind of like I explain it to my friends, it's like you get like a download. Like I just hear one word or phrase, and it'll take off right from there.
Yeah.
And typically I like to sit in coffee shops and I kind of will listen to people and I get like one-liners from them. Like one time I heard a girl in a coffee shop talking about how she's like, oh, I left my empty shampoo bottle in the shower and I just don't ever throw it away. And I was like, because she was talking about how like sad and like depressed she is, and I immediately had to sit down and like a whole poem just flew
You're like,
out
the
of
shampoo bottle is a metaphor for everything
Yes.
going on in life right now.
So I was like, that's kind of just how it comes to me, honestly, and then I'll just flush through them a little bit later if like some words aren't flowing correctly. But that was what I liked about with the I Met My Younger Self for Coffee poem was I kind of created the blueprint to allow people to write their own version. And that's the hardest part, is creating the structure and then going back in and filling in the words.
And you've had tons of books, but this is your first official published book by a legit publisher.
Yes.
What is that feeling like? Because I feel if you're an author, that's what you're going for in life, right?
Yes, it's been a journey because I started 9 years ago when I was 22 years old, and I've self-published almost 2 books a year for the last 9 years.
Wow.
And to be able to sell or traditional publish something now is just been such a dream come true, especially because I have always wanted to have my books in bookstores and be able to walk in and see it there. And with self-publishing, you're just it's online.
Yeah.
So it's just really exciting to be able to get to see some readers and meet with readers too.
Yeah.
Now, do you also design the book cover as well?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah.
Really? What's the inspiration for the design?
Yeah, so for this one, I wanted something that seemed like it was kind of like a night theme, but also she's on water and kind of like like universal, like I just love the sense of like thinking of like the universe and kind of your mind, and I wanted it to look like that's kind of like what she's walking out into, is like her own mind. So yeah, I designed the whole thing, and purple wasn't a color I had done yet, so I was like, oh, let's go with
go into purple.
Yeah.
And for people who maybe are like, I don't really get into poetry, what would you tell them when they're like, I don't know if I'm gonna like dabble, and I don't know if that's my situation?
Yeah, the thing I like about my poetry specifically is I feel like it's a lot more digestible than what people think poetry is. Usually people read poetry and be like, that's kind of confusing, or I don't understand what they're saying. So I like to write stuff that really people can pick up and turn to any page. And even if you're not like a big book person or reader, it's kind of nice because you can just read a few poems, put it down on your coffee table, pick it up. You don't have to invest in a novel.
Well, I pre-ordered it.
Thank you so much.
I really did. I was like, I want to support local authors, right? And I love your work.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
And you see Jennae walking into your coffee shop, just be aware. You know,
She's
watch what you
listening.
say. You know, just come up with something creative. Give her a little inspiration. Jennae, thank you so much for being here.
So
Really
much.
appreciate it. You can pre-order a copy of her book, Deep in My Feels. It comes out August 12th. For more details, head to her website, JennaeCecelia.com. We'll be right back right after this.
And you're going on like a tour too, right? What else?